Órale. The Barrio Love Oldies.com. Órale.
What's up, everybody? It is I, of course, your girl, Miss Crystal Marie from Barrio Love Oldies, right here on the Barrio Love Oldie podcast, episode number 17, with none other than Lisa, aka Vinyl Ruca, in the building. What's up, girl? How you doing?
What's up? I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm super excited to have you on our podcast because the last time we seen each other was in Norwalk for the Pinta Estilo's first annual art exhibit, and we didn't even really get a chance to really talk there, right? We were like so busy.
No, and it was hot too.
I know, it was so hot that day. I was like, and I think because we were under the tent, it felt like an oven hot. It was so hot.
Yeah, and then it was windy.
Yeah.
And I know we were looky-loos. We were shopping.
Yeah, I
Then
know. We
went to go eat because, you know, Mr. Rosa got that grub.
Yeah, that is true. They have some good menudo there.
Their food's bomb.
Yeah, so thank you so much for being with me today. I'm super excited to hear all about you, and let's go ahead and get right into it. And my first question to you is, where are you from, born and raised?
Well, I'm from here. I was born in San Dimas, California, actually. I lived a small amount of my life in the SGV, and then my parents divorced, so then I actually went to El Sereno, and then from there I was like back and forth. So now I'm back in Boyle Heights.
Nice. And how long have you been there at Boyle Heights?
Oh, about like 7 years.
Oh, nice. Okay. So where did you go to school at over there? Or like how, because you were back and forth, do you mean like from your mom's house into your dad's house?
Yeah, just like basically I went to school in El Sereno, and then my dad was like, you're running with the bad crowd. I want to go to school over here. So then I ended up going to school in Alhambra, and I wasn't any better. So, you know, times got hard, and I just was like, I'm going to go live with my mom. And I went to go live with my mom, and she lived in West Covina. So, you know, it was just, I grew up there. I went to school for a little bit, and I was just a bad kid and did my thing and, you know, went from there.
Yeah. And was it hard, like, being a kid, like, just going back and forth, like, so much, like moving, like, just back and forth?
It was, because I had a good life with my dad. Like, you know, I didn't have to struggle and stuff like that. But when I lived with my mom, it was like a whole different atmosphere.
Really?
And, you know, it was just like, it was a struggle living with her, and, you know, but it taught me a lot, though. It really grounded my ass.
So who do you feel was your primary, like, parent that raised you?
It was actually my dad, because I was with them since I was like 4 all the way till I was like 13.
Wow, so you're daddy's girl.
Yeah, but I'm daddy's girl, was daddy's girl, and so, you know, we just had our issues with each other, and, you know. But
you talk about both parents being different. Like, what was it like growing up in both homes? Like, growing up with your dad, like, what kind of music did he like listening to, or what was the environment like there? And what was the environment like when you were at your mom's?
Well, the environment at my dad was really like, it was like, you know, I was a girl being raised by a man, and I had my brother with me, and, you know, it was just, you know, my brother was a teenage boy, so he was like, you know, my dad was like, oh, you have to watch your sister. And he would be like, nah, you know, like, then my brother would be like, you're going to come with me. And, you know, I'd be out with him and his friends. And actually, that's kind of how, like, I got into the music that I like, because I would hear the music from them. So I would be like, man, just, you know, that music just stuck with me forever. But, you know, I mean, you know, just every day, you know, typical, you know, my dad drank a lot and, you know, really didn't know how to raise a girl. And he had a girlfriend and she was good to me. She was like a stepmom to me. And, you know, just, you know, as time went on and they didn't end up working out. So, you know, stuff got hard after that. So I was just like, you know what? I'm out of here. Like, he ended up getting another girlfriend and I was like, me and her didn't get along. So I was just like, I'm out.
And it's so crazy because were you attached to that woman that your dad was with? Like,
I was.
And it's so crazy how, like, when parents, like, I think, like, people that have kids don't take that, like, or maybe, I don't know, like, it's so crazy because I feel like kids, like, they hurt, like, when, you know, like, I get that because it's happened to me where, like, my dad was with a girl and I was so attached to her, and when they broke up, I was heartbroken.
Oh yeah,
my mom was leaving me all over again.
No, for real, I was devastated when they split up, and they actually had my little brother together. So, you know, my little brother was gone, and I was like, you know, like, I don't like this, and I just was like, I'm not.
Relationship with her?
I haven't seen her in a long time. I just been like apart from like everybody because I'm a workaholic. I work 2 jobs, and if I'm not working, then, you know, I'm out and about.
Yeah. Wow. So, okay, so your dad and the girlfriend split up. He got another girlfriend, and then was that like around the time when you just went to go move with your mom?
Yeah, I kind of just like left on my own, per se. But yeah, that was about the time I was just like, I don't want to live with him no more, and, you know, I just felt like things just weren't going right, and I went to go stay with my mom.
Wow.
So,
and what was the environment like at your mom's?
That environment was crazier probably than living with my dad, because my mom was like in her own world, and, you know, she struggled a lot, and you know, didn't have a steady job, and we were always bouncing from place to place, and, you know, but I had to grow up fast. So, you know, stuff like that.
Yeah, and was she like, which one of your parents, like, or your inspiration, how you said that came from your brother, then from your brother and his friends, like being with your brother and just hearing the music that they would listen to? Yeah,
my brother, actually, one of his good friends was a DJ, and I remember going to parties with them and hearing all the music, and the music was just like, took you into a whole nother world. Just like, it took you away from everything that was like getting to you, or, you know, just making you upset, but the music was just like, I loved it.
Yeah, for sure. And what kind of, when you think back at those times when you would be at parties with your brother, how old were you?
I was young. I was like, probably like 10, 11.
Oh my gosh.
I was
and
young.
What would you do there? Like, were you like out on the dance floor dancing at 10 years old?
Actually, I was. I would be dancing. I'd be
look at you.
Drinking, smoking, like just doing shit that a young girl like that shouldn't be doing. But, you know, like I said, you just had to go with the flow, I guess, you know. And back then, things were different for us back then, you know. It was like late 80s, early 90s.
When do you feel that you started, like, getting into music on your own, like collecting your own stuff, like going and looking for, and then also, like, what was your first genre of music that you pursued?
My first genre was freestyle. Like, it was really like the disco music. My brother was a disco biscuit, and then I actually had my stepsister and my stepbrothers, and they were into like new wave music, like the Depeche Mode and Morrissey, and just totally opposite from what my brother was listening to. And back in the days, like in LA, City Terrace, El Sereno, Lincoln Heights, if you went to a backyard party, you're gonna hear freestyle, Depeche Mode, Morrissey, probably some classic rock, like all in the same party.
Wow.
And it's crazy because like there would be cholos at that party of just jamming to fucking Morrissey, like crazy.
That is wild. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Yeah.
And you know, I can imagine that, like, cause that's more like how you said, like soft rock, funk, right? Like funk. Is it funk?
You know, like funk. You know, I didn't really get into funk until like I was older, because I don't remember hearing funk. But like freestyle, oldies, like I said, like K-rock music, like that was all the music that I had grown up to.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
for sure.
at the time, actually too, my mom was dating a guy that collected records.
Really?
And yeah, and the records he would collect, you know, he used to have a book. They used to have like a newspaper that it was kind of like an auction. I don't remember what it was called, but he used to go through this newspaper and like he would like order the record from the newspaper. I guess you would call a number and you would order it and stuff like that. And that's kind of like how I was like, oh, these records are bad, you know. And then like he used to have a reel-to-reel, which is kind of like it kind of looks like something that, like, you know, in the movie theater they have that big old film thing and it it rolls around. Well, it's something like that. And he used to have all this music on there. And I remember one time he had this cassette, and he was playing this cassette, you know, because we grew up to the Art Laboe oldies, you know, and he had this cassette, and it was playing like, you know, it had like the Delphonics on there, the Moments, and it was playing songs that like I never heard before. And I'm like, oh, those songs are bad, you know. And I remember having that tape, and I played it day in, day out. And I just learned to like appreciate, you know, different songs, different genres and stuff like that. So like that was kind of like a little like boost in my like, oh, you know, like I think I'm really into music.
Yeah. At what age do you think that you really started getting into music?
I mean, as far as collecting records, it really wasn't until my adult life. I remember my first record was Paula Abdul.
Nice.
And I remember my dad had records in his closet. He had like the Midnighters, Sierra, El Chicano. He had Mexican music too, but I didn't fuck with that. So I was like, you know, but I did take his oldies and I would play them. And, you know, I remember being like, I want to say 10 and just playing records, and I don't know, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world for some reason. And then as I got older, you know, kind of like the records kind of like, you know, went by me. And then I maybe when I was like, I want to say maybe when I was like about 15, 16, you know, like that's when you just started hearing more music from everybody. Like, you know, your friends, oh, look at this song, or look at that song. And, you know, so that's when it really started like, man, you know, I can appreciate like different kinds of music.
Yeah.
I'm still dealing with country though. I can't
country?
I can't get into that really, but I do like a couple songs.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, you know what? Me either. I can't, like, if they're like slow love songs, there's a few that I like, but they have to, I don't know, they're slow love songs.
Yeah, but everything else, I'm like, I could, you know, I could rock with it. It's cool.
Yeah, that's so cool. So I know freestyle has been very big in your life. Do you feel oldies has also been like very big into your life, as well?
Oldies is a very big part of my life. Maybe I should call it the soldies and not the oldies, but
there you go.
Yeah. So the soldies came in about When I was like, I want to say 17, I had met my high school sweetheart when I was like 14, and he actually was into music like I was, and his dad was into music, and his dad had a lot of records that, again, that I was like, wow, I never heard that before. I never heard that. And it was just like a whole nother, like, it opened your mind to a whole nother, like, wow, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so my kid's dad is George Miller, the one who does Gangsta Soul Harmony and the Gangsta Girls Harmony.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's a big oldies are definitely a part of my life.
Definitely.
So,
yeah.
For a long time, I lost bases with, like, you know, with what I grew up with to what, like, don't play Art LeBeau oldies in this house. Like, we're playing these oldies in this house.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah,
But
yeah. It's, do you remember the first time? What do you? Because I always say, like, the comment, you know, because I always keep in mind, you know, there's people that are listening that don't really know the difference, but we've mentioned this in other episodes, like, so there's your common oldies, the ones you hear like on the radio, and then there's your like sweet soul, rare soul, you know, like those kind hard to find oldies. Now, do you feel like that was the first time that you experienced the feeling of hearing something different than what you're used to was that time that you heard your stepfather playing that tape? Can you describe the feeling that you felt just hearing something different, like that oldie that was different than what you're used to hearing? What was that feeling like?
I think it was like, the feeling was like, the differences in the way that they sang, and like it just was more like you were more entwined with it. Like, damn, like these motherfuckers, they went through this shit, or they're just singing the shit out of this song or something, but it just made you feel their pain or their happiness.
Yeah,
for
sure. I agree. I feel like you know, like rare, like just hearing something different in general, right, is I feel like even now I still feel that feeling, like where like your heart, you know, gets that butterfly, like, you know what I'm talking about, when you hear something new and you're like,
oh yeah,
you're like like, hold on,
I have a few songs that just, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna try not to cry right now, you know? Like, yeah,
exactly. And it's like, you know what, it's funny because I always say, like, it'll move you, and I just posted about that, I think today, you know, music moves you, and it'll take you
it's an emotional roller coaster.
Yes, it'll take you on a journey. And it's like, not only that, but I feel like in a way it's like a drug, and it's a healthy drug. Like, I feel like the music has the potential to either take you on a nice little high where you're feeling great, you know, you're like onward, like you put the music on Saturday morning and you don't feel like cleaning. As soon as you hear that jam, you're like, ooh, ¿dónde está la escoba? Where's the broom at?
Or sometimes you don't want to get out of your car. You don't want to, like, you're in that moment and you're like, you don't want it to end, or
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it's a beautiful feeling, you know, just hearing different music. And I feel like even now, like, you know, the hunt never ends. You know what I mean? I think that's what people chase, is that feeling of newness, right? Like, just feeling that. And I think that's a beautiful thing that you were able to experience that. I think, like, as we collect, we experience that a lot, right? Just hearing
Oh yeah.
So your first record was Paula Abdul. After that, you said you got into the more like the soldies because of your high school sweetheart. And after that, did you just stick with it, or how did you get into like collecting vinyl and all that?
Well, I mean, it was a challenge to actually to get into the vinyl, to be honest with you, because there was a lot of struggle, you know, um, in the family life, and him having his records, and those records cost a lot of money. Like, no lie. And it was like, you know, at first, honestly, like, I was against all of it. Because
really?
a lot of,
or because
I didn't like,
just how expensive they were.
I kind of got into like man,
resentment?
like I was like, yeah, resentment. Like, I don't like what you're doing. Like, you know, like, you're spending a lot of money, you're spending a lot of time, and we have 5 kids. So, I mean, you know, it was a lot of like, you know, bickering and this and that, and, you know, but he did his thing and he went on to do it, and he did it, and, you know, at a point it was like, either you're with me or you're against me. And I decided, you know what, I'm gonna be with you.
Yeah,
you know, I finally, you know, turned over a new leaf, and, you know, I started going with him, because at first I wouldn't go with him to like his shows, and I would just be home, and, you know, and everybody would be like, come on, you know, just come, you know, you'll have fun, and then I just started to like, you know, okay, all right. And then I accepted it, and then it was just like, man, you know, when he was doing the Southern Soul Spinners shows, like, I'd be like, damn, this is like, you know, firme right here. You can come and party, and there's people from this neighborhood and that neighborhood, and we're all getting along, doing something, because I came from the 90s where nobody got along.
Right.
And you're like, well, you're kicking with that fool, well, you're kicking with that fool, and, you know, it just was a place where, like, damn, I wish we had this when we were younger, where, like, everybody could come, and we're all here for the same thing, to drink Bisto and listen to music, and be happy, you know?
Yeah.
And so I started, you know, like, okay, like, this is, you know, I like this, and so when they were coming out, they would be playing oldies, you know, oldies, and, you know, yeah, we all love oldies, but after a while, you're like, damn, I want to dance, you know, like, I want to do this, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know, I had, you know, obtained a couple of records, and I was like, you know what, I told them, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could, like, play some of these records after you guys are done spinning your oldies? And he was like, yeah, I'll talk to you, know, so and so. And I was like, okay. And then, like, you know, I remember doing the Soul Spinner show. Like, I did a little set, and everybody was on the dance floor, and I was like, I just got a rush from it.
Wow.
And I was like, damn, I want to keep doing this, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I got into that.
You know, maybe you weren't in the beginning, and how you said, like, I grew resentment. And maybe you love the oldies, but you couldn't enjoy them because you felt like that, you know, like, little bit of resentment. But the fact that you're able to pull through and support, and look at you now, girl, look at over there doing your thing. Like, who would have thought, you know? I think that's a beautiful thing, and super encouraging that, you know, yes, we could be resentful at times and maybe feel something, but how you said, I went out and I checked it out, and then you fell in love with it, right? So don't knock it till you try it, I guess.
So it was just like, you know, I got on there, and I was just like, you know, I played my little freestyle, whatever I had, and, you know, everybody was dancing, and then we had, you know, friends, and, you know, I had a friend, his name was Anthony De La Rosa, the Gingerbread Man, and like Marco's Issue 1, and they were like, you know, if you're gonna play this music, you can't play it like they do. You gotta mix in your music, you know, because this kind of music's not meant to be, you know, put the record on, you know, put the needle on, take the needle off, you know, like you gotta mix it in. So they helped me a lot, you know, like they showed me, you know, the ropes and stuff, and they took me under their wing, and they, you know, they got gigs for me, and I was just like, you know, I like this, you know.
What do you remember the feeling that you felt the first time you spin and seen everybody on the dance floor, and like, how did that feel? Like, what'd you think?
It felt good, because I felt like, it feels like, damn, you know, because I'm appreciating the music and they're appreciating the music. It's like I'm having a good time, they're having a good time. So the vibe is just like, it's booming, you know, like.
And that's good that you know, it's so true how you say, you know, like there's these events that go on and there's people from so many different backgrounds, right? Not just, maybe that one time there were enemies on the street, but I always say this, music is what brings us together. That, like, music is love. And whether you're from a rival neighborhood or you represent another color or another race or another part of the planet, it doesn't matter, because when we play this song for you, you're going to feel exactly what that person in the north and the south and the east and the west feels. Like,
exactly.
You know, like that's what connects us all together.
Oh, yeah. Music is definitely, like, it's unity.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is a beautiful thing how you say, to be able to go into a place, everybody's super chill, and you know, can you explain a little bit, like, for somebody who hasn't went to like an event where there's vinyl spinners? Can you explain to those that are listening? Maybe somebody hasn't gone, but they would like to go, but they're like intimidated to go, or, you know, to an event like this. What can you expect to go to an event where, you know, there's vinyl spinners and things like that?
I mean, just be open-minded. Go there with, you know, a positive vibe. Don't go there looking for trouble, because then you are going to get trouble. But don't just expect to hear music you never heard before. You know, expect there to be different kinds of music from different people who play. But in all, you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy that someone's up there with vinyl.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's either you're gonna like it or you're not.
Right, of course, yeah. And I think there's most of the events that I've been to, the super chill vibes. Super, like, everyone's just having a good time, everyone's dancing, everybody, you know, just appreciative of the music. And a lot of people are there because of that, right? Because they have a love for music. So that's awesome. And so what do you feel that vinyl collecting has gotten you into? Like, since you started collecting vinyl, doing events, like, have you done anything like wild or big, or?
I've done a lot of not to. I'm just saying. No, the best thing that's happened to me is that I've met so many different people with just so many different characters, and really good people that I've met with big hearts, and, you know, like, a lot of people, like, you know, just accept you, and they're like you, and, you know, they've been through the same shit you've been through, and, you know, I think that's the best thing, is just I've met so many different people.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, because you're just like, wow, like, I wouldn't think you would like this music, or, you know, it's just that's what it is. It's just the different people that I've met. I haven't really, like, gone anywhere, like, out of state or anything like that. I mean, I did in the past.
Oh, you have gone though? You've traveled?
I've traveled with George. We went to Chicago because they wanted him to play there.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's as far as that went. But, yeah, you know, like, maybe one day I'll make it out of state somewhere, but
yes, claim that.
I mean, you know what? I take that back, because I have played in Vegas, so.
Oh, okay. There you go.
But I mean, as far as, like, somewhere, like, you know, really out there, I haven't been yet. But no, I mean, I love the places that I've played at, that I do play at. I mean, it's just a whole vibe. It's my vibe. It's something that I like to do. It's a stress reliever for me. You know, when I'm up there, I just go into a whole nother world. I'm like, don't talk to me. Like, you know, you get your people come up and want to, like, oh, can you play this song? Like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no, like if I have it, if I catch it, like, okay, they said this song, I have it, I'll try to like put it in, what I'm playing with, but
Because
other than,
you guys
yeah.
have your own, okay, so you get invited to go spin at an event. How do you
Mm-hmm.
prepare for that? Like, as a vinyl spinner getting invited to do an event, how do you get prepared for that?
I really don't. I have tried before to like have a set, like, um, and like in other words, like if I went and okay, I'm gonna put this song together and this song together, and I've done that, and when I went to go play it, it just didn't come out right. Sometimes I'll have a good set and sometimes I won't, but I never get prepared. I just grab my records and go because my mood is always different when I'm playing. So,
Right.
I just play accordingly. So,
Yeah.
it'll just be this, and this, and I won't prepare for it.
Yeah, that's so dope. So basically, you just whatever you have with you, and I think that's why you say like it's a little challenging, right? Like when you have people going up to you and be like, "Hey, can you play this song?" And it's like, "Hold on, let me hold on."
Well, it's like I think a lot of people that do that, they don't realize we're playing vinyl, so they think that we can just whoop it out and play it. So it's like, but when they do ask, like, if I can like zone out a little bit and I'll hear them say something, and or I'll be like right off the bat, I don't have that, or I do have that, I'll try,
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, let this be a warning to people. Don't go up there and bother us. No dedications or no requests, okay? Because we're in a zone up there.
Marie on Sunday night at 7:00 for
Right?
your request.
Right? This ain't the Art LeBeau show. No, I was kidding.
No, I get it. And it's just a little stressful, right? Like, I'm sure because it's like you're already like trying to focus on your set, trying to make sure that it sounds good, and like then still having people like, "Hey, can you play this? Hey," like trying to get your attention. It's like, bro, like I'm concentrating, just giving, it's kind of a challenge, I feel. I mean, because it happens to me, and I'm not playing vinyl on my live show, but then like when I'm like, okay, I have my set of what I'm gonna play, and like when people do request, like not on Sundays, but like if I'm on there, I'm like, bro, let me play this set for you. Hold up.
Yeah. So I get a lot of people like, oh, what about this song? Should I play this song? And I just tell them, play with whatever you want to play. Whatever floats your boat.
Right.
Like, I know everybody wants, like, to satisfy the crowd, but it's like, we pay a lot of money for those records, and to be out there and play them, it's just, you want to please everybody, but at the same time, please yourself, get into your mode, and maybe the energy will reach out to them.
Yeah, of course. And you're in a crowd. Not everyone's, I mean, in the same mood, obviously, right? So you might just play the record for the person that's in that kind of mood of hearing that song that you're playing. Or that you're singing,
I've had people come up to me, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you played that song. Oh, it was my sister's song. She just passed away." And that's when I'm like, oh, man, like, but makes me feel good that I made her feel good,
For sure. Yeah, of course. And I think that's like the most rewarding feeling, right? Is just knowing that you, and I always say this, as a vinyl spinner, anybody that plays music, you're sharing your heart for that 1 hour or for that one set. Because not only are you sharing your heart, you're sharing your finances, your time. That's love. You're giving us love when you're out there spinning. And I feel like, it's energy that, that everybody can feel, right? It's like the purest form of love that you can show. And I'm always so appreciative watching, like even at the event, just watching you guys up there do your thing. It's like, like, that's love, and we felt
Yeah.
it, like, for sure. And I'm super grateful for, you guys being there with us. And just for women, I was in awe of just having, like, all of the spinners there were women, and just the unity and the love that was felt. You guys created that energy, and I know Liz was grateful, I was grateful, and you guys are what made it happen. Like, you guys had us all out there.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time too, it goes hand in hand with the culture, like the lowriders, the oldies, the cholos, the cholas, it all goes together. And the type of music we play, and just, it's good because it just all sinks in.
Yeah, it all ties in together.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Do you have anything coming up?
I do have, Sunday I have, El Príncipe in San Pedro, and then I have Saturday, I have Mustang Sally's in the city of, Rancho Cucamonga.
Ooh, how exciting. That's so nice. So if people want more information regarding that, they could hit you up on Instagram. Are you on Instagram, Facebook?
I'm on Instagram. Yeah, they can hit me up on Instagram, and just let me know you heard the podcast so I can accept you, because I really don't accept people unless, like, I know you. So,
oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah. So still got to keep it a little private.
I know. It's so crazy because I have my Barrio Love Oldies, and I haven't created, like, an official personal account, and I'm like, I get nervous of doing that. I'm like, people don't want to know about my life, they just want Barrio Love Oldies. So I'm like, I don't need a person.
I know. I keep saying I'm just gonna make one for the music, and that's it. And then, man, I'm too busy for that shit.
Yeah, but so then I always feel like maybe people want to know, like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like maybe, like, family wants to be updated. I don't know. It's just, social media is crazy. Oh, I love it, and I hate it.
I know.
Well, anyways, my last question. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
My last question to you before we end is, do you have any advice for any upcoming vinyl collectors?
Just play what you want to play. I mean, I know there's, like, some people feel a certain type of way because you don't have the original record, and that's fine, because the people who do have the original records, that's something that they do. They're collectors. It's like when you collect stamps, or this is original one. This is worth this much money, and I respect them for that. And that's a whole nother passion or level or whatever. But if you feel this is something that you want to do, don't be intimidated by that. Just, get your records, whatever you want, and go play them, because this, we live in a world where there's enough room for everybody.
Yeah. And,
maybe this person could be at this place at this time, and that person could be at that place at this time, and you're going to hear the same song, So, I mean, to each his own, it's just, still, respect the people that do what they do. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's always, like, hard, like, because one thing that I do always say is, like, I have a lot of love and respect for, because I think, like, for me personally, I feel like, hey, if I'm going to invest finances in something, I want it to be quality. So there are a lot of people that are able to invest finances in these vinyl records for quality, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's their collection. That's the finances they're investing, and they can do it, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? That they can go get these very expensive records, but just because they're able to do that, that should never discourage anybody, because you will get to that level at one time. You know what I mean? You will get there to a place where your collection will where they don't buy reissues and all that stuff. But in the meantime, don't let it intimidate you, and you go buy whatever your heart desires.
Yeah, you're still gonna play it, and that those people out there, your crowd, they're still gonna dance to it, whether it's real or not.
Yes, they are.
I mean, like I said, I'm not, dogging nobody. I'm not.
No, I value that. I really do value that, because they're actually, I feel like people that do that, collectors that are able to do that, they're like artifacts that they're still what's that word? Preserving, these vinyl records. That's a beautiful thing,
And just remember too that those people as well, they have a lot of passion for it, and they have blood, sweat, and tears that they put into getting those records, so don't knock somebody when they talk about it too much, or maybe they think they're full of themselves, because they're not. It's just they're very, very passionate about what they do, and you can't, knock somebody's high, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, what I think is like not knocking them, because that's an investment that they're making. And how you said, that's blood, sweat, and tears. And when we say like blood, sweat, and tears, it's not because these collectors are just going to like just your local record shop around the corner and just buying whatever record. We're talking about people that are literally like calling other states, calling like other parts of the world, looking for records, and like even traveling. Like I've met vinyl collectors that actually travel to like different parts of the United States, like hunting these records. So it's a whole different level, and I have much love and respect for those collectors, because they deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, trust me, I'm guilty of paying buku money for a damn record that now is not even worth what it was when I bought it. And it's like, it's like, a lot of people, they do the reissues, they come out with them, which is fine, that's cool. But like, at the same time, they're devaluing the real shit.
Yeah.
So
that is true too. It's like so much that goes into it, right?
Yeah. It's like, oh my God, I paid that much money for it, now you're over here selling it for $100. Like, no. But I'm gonna buy it because I like it.
Oh my God, I feel like it's so crazy. It's a beautiful thing, but it can get crazy. For sure.
Oh yeah, that's why my collection is not big, because man, my responsibilities come first. But I mean, when I have a little extra and I'm just like, let me get something new on the table, because sometimes I'll be like, I feel like I'm playing the same stuff over and over again. I think it's time for me to
bring something new in.
Yeah, time to bring something new to the table. But yeah,
in time, don't worry,
in time.
It'll come.
Right?
Well, I want to thank you so much for being with me. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about, or anything you want to say? Any last words?
No, I mean, there's a lot to say. There's a lot to know about me, and how I got in this scene and everything like that, and but I really don't like to use that as like any kind of leverage, because I'm my own person at the end of the day. I'm Lisa. I don't belong to this person or that. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm me, but I'm a whole person here. Hello.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome that like we get to know you for who you are. I know there's a lot of things that, we didn't even get to tap into, but we're always down for a part 2, so you already know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I already know, because, man, if you only knew, no.
But definitely, I mean, it's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and, what got you into vinyl collecting, and, what has kept you going, what do you feel has kept you going, to continue to, do what you do?
It's a hobby to me. It's something that I love to do. Sometimes I do need a break from it, But the fact that people, hey, you want to come spin over here, it brings joy to my heart. Like, oh, you thought about me, so I'm going to come out and, do my thing and support as well, so yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I want to thank you so much for doing the interview with us. It was awesome meeting you in June and catching up with you today. And I really do hope that we catch up again, maybe like for the part 2.
Yeah. I just want to say sorry, I love you, everybody, my friends, my close friends, my day oneers. You guys all know who you are. I don't want to, put nobody on blast because then, they're going to say, oh, you left me out or da-da-da-da. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I probably will leave somebody on and then I'll feel bad like forever. So, I think, all my people that come support me, everybody that shares my flyers, without me having to add you. But yeah, no, I thank you for the support that you guys given me, throughout the years, really, because I did disappear for a while and then I came back.
Yeah, well, life happens. I know. Me personally, I did too. Life happens. We move on. We take a little break, but we come back. It's always good to come back, and then it seems like we come back stronger, right? Like with a refreshing spirit. We're refreshed and ready for the round 2.
Yeah, just keep your positive people around you, and you could do anything. You go to a lot of places and meet new people. That's what I love about it too, is that I'm always meeting new people, like all the time, that just share that passion with you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you again so much. That does conclude episode number 17 with Vinyl Ruca, and we'll catch you on the flip.